Hey guys, Mineral Garbage here, and today I gotta talk about it. If it ain't artists being harassed and their lives threatened, it is simp niggas being mad because their girlfriend used to be anti-sex work and now people calling out she anti-sex work. Let me be real here. There is two things that I agree with, two or three things that I agree first off with what Idubbbz is saying, and that is OnlyFans being an outlet and source of income for, let's be honest, women get shamed the most for it. For women or men, is not an act of just terrorism on a man's ego. It's not. It's not a inherently default thing that's like, hey guys, this is just a bam on my masculinity and I have to stop it sort of thing. And two, that nobody, and I mean nobody, kid or adult, should be idolizing another human being because of the content that they make. That creates cults, and that is, that ain't it. That ain't it, chief. Now what I will say is that I personally believe, other than that, this video that Idubbbz made is just, it ain't it, chief. It is not it. This man goes from trying to frame OnlyFans as this little meek little site for those startup amateur porn stars, you know, and by ironically using one of the most accomplished cosplayers, Jay Striker, who utilizes both sexy aesthetic and creative differences to literally transforming himself into like an old man. I can't, I'm sorry. Using Mia Khalifa unironically. He's unironically using Mia Khalifa as a, you should support sex workers because sex work is this wonderful thing that never has any issues 100% of the time, and saying that sex work is something that could be seen as a lowbrow job is just 100% prejudice and it's not gonna hold up in 50 years. When it's so ironic, but in Mia Khalifa's recent interview from last year, she talked about specifically how doing porn, doing that sort of webcam-y stuff that she was doing even after she got really big with the whole ISIS thing, it's not great. She couldn't find jobs. When she did get a job, she was immediately disrespected. And then when Idubbbz goes in on Atozy about him listing things that people on the internet were talking about. First of all, it wasn't Atozy's personal opinion where he was like, this is what I believe, this is what it's gonna be, sort of thing. He was basically just listing pros and cons of doing what Anissa is doing and saying that finding a job is gonna be hard. No. Why is that controversial? Why is that controversial to say? I don't think it should be a controversial thing to say. That's a fact. There are certain jobs and hobbies that people doing and it being seen and made as a public thing can affect your job. Me, for example, before I was just 100% embracing that I did not suitable for work art and not suitable for work cosplay sometimes. It was just a hobby. I was terrified to let people know about my personal hobbies on my job. I was terrified because in states, especially right-to-work states, when you're trying to find a job or somebody finds out when you're on a job, you could be fired for that. Does it suck? Hell yeah. But that is not deplete the fact that it is a fact that that is something that can affect your job. Because a lot of things that people are looking for with professionalism is they're looking for, do you got the look? You got the look, you got the professionalism, you know? And then he uses this weird analogy comparing if somebody has like a tattoo or a nose piercing or a tongue piercing or a tattoo sleeve, that they're just automatically going to be branded a whore. No, there are alternative cultures. There are things like goths and punks and things like that who are 100% have nothing to do with sex work. Contrary to the memes and popular belief. I cannot express how just it ain't it for me. It really isn't. And it's very scary to me that Idubbbz is so dense and in his feelings about the fact that people dare criticize his queen doing OnlyFans, which it's not just that she's doing OnlyFans. A lot of people have been criticizing Anissa for about a year and a half now because she is a major hypocrite, a snake, a backstabber. You are defending a woman who literally had a gay man, Sky Williams, wrapped around her little fucking finger, and then she turned around when he was one of the main forces defending her from the allegations she is similarly receiving now, and she was talking about him. She wrecked his mental health. She made him go on hiatus. That was about levels of those are levels of when an artist gets harassed for just being an artist sort of thing. Like, really? You're defending that? Like, come on, dude. There are better women to simp for. Come on now. Like, if you love her, that's 100%. You said you love your girlfriend. 100% on you. But that does not mean you cannot call her out. And he wants to act like he's the savior of sex workers, honey. He's like, oh, Atozy, y'all talking about sex work is beneath some people? Yes, it is beneath some people. There are some people who don't want their whole body to be displayed for millions to see. Because, as you said, the internet is forever. It's a fact. Yeah, it is a fact, and there are a lot of people who don't want to. That's why there are a lot of people who do wigs, do elaborate makeup so that they're unrecognizable in the real world, have a name, fake name, VPN, all that, because they're terrified, and it is something they need for money, but they don't want to sacrifice their privacy. Same way some YouTubers keep their face hidden, keep their voice changing, don't ever go on camera and things like that. It's trickier when you're doing sex work, but it is completely possible to be doing that, and there are people who do it, and they don't want to be exposed. What is wrong with that? Like, there are people who have that. There are certain countries where it is illegal to do sex work. You can be put in jail. Like, there are people who do believe that sex work is a last resort. For example, I am somebody, I would rather be doing nude art and not selling my body, because as you notice, even just from the top half of my body right here, my body is not in any condition to be on camera with nothing on. Let me tell you that right now. It's not fun. And as somebody who used to do camming, I did used to do camming anonymously for a while. I guarantee you'll never find it though. You'll never find it. But I used to do camming for a while anonymously. And I didn't make that much money on it. But I did do it for a little while. It's something I rarely talk about ever, because it was something that I didn't really feel proud doing, and it wasn't something that I didn't like. I didn't really like to do it because it didn't really give me any creative prose or any creativity. It didn't inspire me or anything. It just kind of felt blah to me. I didn't feel that connection that I feel more now doing sexy art or lewd art. And sorry if I'm fumbling over my words, I'm just like, my mind's going a million miles a minute. This hypocrisy and this density is not, I can't laser vision it. But I'm just speaking as somebody who's kind of dabbled in and talked to people who are in it and have supported people on OnlyFans who've done it. Also, OnlyFans is not just for sex work, and it's not just some backwoods amateur site. It's like a tip jar for porn stars. That's where it became its like monolith. It was a tip jar for established porn stars or established cam people who wanted to add a little more money to their market, so they wouldn't have to go into these studios and be subjected to like sketchy, weird skits that they might not be comfortable with doing, you know, like in any job. You want to have that fail safe, you know, or you can kind of have you control what's in your environment for the price, you know. And I've supported quite a few, mostly male, obviously, because I like men. And it's just, come on now, like, you can't be this dense. And your girlfriend spent her whole short-lived career making fun of sex workers, and now suddenly you are the savior for all sex workers? Nobody is buying this. We were not born yesterday, despite the common belief you want to put out there that half of the people who are calling you out were kids who weren't even born when freaking Nintendo had the first Game Boy Advance. Like, come on now. We were not born yesterday. We've seen the evidence. There are plenty of deep dive videos that show evidence, full screen caps, full footage of your girlfriend just going in, destroying sex workers, calling them slutty, horrible people. You made a recent whole GIF compilation thing where you basically called, one of your most famous ones I see circulating around, where it's just basically calling someone, you're a whore and you should be ashamed, all of this stuff. That's flavor, that's subjective. That is, anybody looking at that with no context, or even context to just what your gift set was, would say, this guy hates sex workers, versus somebody saying, sex work seems like something that I would be a last resort. It's a subjective opinion. Some people agree, some people disagree, but he's not saying sex workers are horrible, especially in that particular video Atozy did. He also said that Idubbbz is happy, his girlfriend seems happy, let them do what they want to do. You really cut up and selectively put screenshots in, and you're doing the exact same thing you accused Leafy's hair of doing when he did a content cop and a content debut. Like, come on. I can't deal with this hypocrisy from people. Y'all, some of these YouTubers think once they get to a certain status that they are beyond criticism, and that if you criticize them, you're big whiny babies, while ironically being the big whiny babies. Come now. I cannot. This is full H3 level bullshit. Like, saying stuff that you know is gonna come back on you while unironically going after people. Unironically going after people for the same thing you said, like, not too long ago. I cannot. This is the PewDiePie nigger situation. I am laughing, homie. Oh. I can't. Oh man, okay. Oh, I'm gonna get into it. But if you really want to see everything that I'm talking about, and you were confused as hell, and you have no idea what I'm talking about, and you're like, what the hell is she talking about? Where's the context? I am doing this from my phone, and I'm still trying to figure out how to edit with my phone. So I'm just gonna link all of the evidence and all of this context of what I'm talking about in the description. There'll be a full video that Brittany Venti did a year ago, basically highlighting every single scummy thing Anissa has done, every single insult to sex workers Anissa has done, everything that Anissa has been known for, and why she probably knows this, why she calls herself the snake of YouTube, as well as Idubbbz's recent video about him complaining about people calling him a simp, and Atozy's video on the situation when Anissa announced her OnlyFans. And also, apparently I've been hearing Idubbbz has been deleting comments that were specifically talking about his girlfriend's deceit. So this dude knows his girlfriend's history. He knows what a scumbag she is, but he refuses to acknowledge it. And it really is jarring to me, because this hits me on a personal level, because Idubbbz is doing the exact same thing an old and very dear friend of mine did to get with a girl who is clearly using him to this day. They're still together, but I'm 100% sure that she is using him to get away from her parents. And it is something that it personally hurts to see, because I can tell Idubbbz is genuinely in love with Anissa, with his girlfriend. He's very much in love with her, and he very much, appreciates her. At least that's the way he comes off in his video when he takes pictures with her. You can tell he's very natural, he's very much comfortable with her. But it's this thing I've seen with many of my male friends who get caught up with women like this. They block all of the logic and reason out. So the most logical men you will meet will 100% lose reason and rationale when it comes to the women that they are so ride or die for. They want their woman to feel the same thing that they feel. They want people around them to feel the same thing that they feel. They want it to be okay, so they feel like if they keep saying this is okay, they're gonna be okay. It's almost like being in an abusive relationship where you just have it jars me all the way to the Chris Ray gun flirting openly and trying to guzzle his cock in front of everyone, which I've personally seen. My best friend, his girl did this to him and he was very not okay with it, but he didn't let everyone else know. Everyone else was just under the assumption that, oh, he's cool with it. It's scary. It is very scary to see when a guy is so wrapped up in a horrible, snake-like woman and he just can't see beyond his own faults. He literally loses the reason and rationale that people have known him for. It's jarring to see somebody that I enjoy thoroughly go through it, much less somebody I know personally. And I don't know Idubbbz personally. I don't know what goes on behind the scenes. I don't know what goes on in the bedroom when they getting it on. I don't know. I don't really care. But as far as what's being shown to us, what has been revealed, because I used to be in Anissa's Discord server, and honey, she was not shy about wanting to bounce chicka bow bow with Chris Bregan while she was in a long distance relationship. That's so hard with Ian. Like, that to me already is a red flag. But then I don't get it. I don't think it's fair that somebody who has dissed sex work for years gets to all of a sudden pretend like they're such a victim when people go in on her being this kind of vixen who needs her Idubbbz OnlyFans fix. Like, come on. She had to get Idubbbz to pay for those titties, honey. And she's probably putting out very amateur content. Like, the amateur people are probably putting out better content. Like, and I'm not an anti-amateur person. I think the professional porn scene is getting stale. They need to spice it up. They need to do a little something extra. But like, Anissa is average, honey. Her porn is free on the internet, and it has been for years. I can't. That's all I gotta say about this. Comment what you feel. If you like this video, you like it. Don't. Just let me know what's on your mind. Because I'm telling you what's on my mind, and it ain't it. I just feel like this whole thing ain't it. All he had to do was say he was fine with her having an OnlyFans, and that's it. And that people who are being extreme should stop. And that's it. He didn't have to do all this whole smear campaign. He literally went in on the person who went the softest on him, to be honest. Like, there are people he could have went in on who, like, went in on him. Like, this nigga's a simp, this nigga this, blah, blah, blah. He just went in. But Atozy literally just said, here's a list. Here's the pros and the cons. He makes money off of peanuts. That was a compliment, homie. That was a compliment. I would be flattered if somebody acknowledged the fact that I could work around the algorithm despite being someone who is known for edgier content and could still make super wholesome content without it being too forced. I feel like Atozy was genuinely complimenting him about it. Like, this dude's making millions off of squirrel nuts. Nobody was salty. You're just in your feelings and you're ironically salty. You been eating them squirrel nuts, honey? Have you? Anyway, that's all I gotta say about it before I get. I could be talking about this for over an hour, and my vape juice is out. So, it is what it is. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Let me know what you think about him deleting comments. Let me know what you think about this whole situation in general. If I'm just crazy and I'm too invested in this man's life. Probably am to a degree. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. And like I said, all of the links that I'll be talking about with the whole Anissa history and backstory and why a lot of people are angry versus the Atozy video and Idubbbz video, all in the description. You can watch for yourself, draw your own conclusions, do that. That being said, guys, peace. And please don't bully me in the comments about my Hayago shirt. I like hentai, and it has a trap in the middle, so I have to. Asanagi, Victim Girls, Fatal Pulse rules, and you should read every doujin they have, and actually buy their a Hayago shirt that they have in partner with Faku that is not a sponsored post. I just went to a booth that was Faku last year and they had very high quality shirts. I was just too broke to get one at the time. And it supports Asanagi because he is partnered with them. So support the artist, bro. With that being said, guys, peace.
Got no bitch at all for real.
Hey, great to hear.
I can now enjoy my own meals. Be my dick anytime.